Hey, what's going on, guys? So this video is for the announcement of Shockmaster number 16 coming out to the TCG. And if you haven't seen this card before, it is a 2300 attacker XYZ that requires 3 level 4 monsters, so very viable in Ultimate Offering gadgets. And its effect is once per turn, you can detach one XYZ material monster from this card to declare a card type, monster, spell, or trap. That type of card can't be activated or cannot activate its effects until the end of your opponent's next turn. So pretty good card to call out like monsters effects, or if you get it out first turn, perhaps you can use Shadow Lizard, or it's now called Kage to Kokage or something like that. But it's a Shadow Lizard looking card, and you can get it out, first turn. And if you call them spells, maybe just so they can't dark hole you, it is a pretty viable card. And at 2300 attack, it's pretty decent, I'd say. But yeah, so I mean, if you get it out first turn, you set some traps, and then you call spells, and your opponent's kind of limited, especially if you can set like a warning. I'd say he's a pretty good card. And then once it becomes your turn again, you just call traps, and you have a free attack through. Pretty darn good stuff. But yeah, to get him, you subscribe to the Shonen Jump Alpha magazine, and you can do so by clicking the link in the description of this video, which I'll have, so you guys can perhaps subscribe and get that out. I'm not like promoting, well, I guess I am promoting it, but it's not like they're paying me to do this. I think this card is legitimately good. Pink Reaper, which is the guy I usually do dual commentaries with, he actually made a deck that revolves around this using Rescue Rabbit, and it is pretty intense. I'll put a link to the that video where it shows you how good Shockmaster can be, especially if you have double of these things on the field. It is pretty deadly. Your opponent has very limited things with what they can do, because you can just take out certain aspects of the game. You could call traps, then monsters effects. Remember, if you have 2 of these on the field, you don't want to call monsters effects first, because then you couldn't activate your other Shockmaster's effect. Just keep that in mind. But yeah, if you want to check out his video, there'll be a link in the description, as well as like an annotation box if you want to click on Shockmaster. But yeah, definitely a pretty cool card. And you also get 4 different cards, which I don't know what they are yet, but once those do get released, I'll be sure to let you guys know. But check out this card. Let me know what you guys think of Shockmaster, because I personally think the card is great. If it required 2 monsters, it would be way too good. But yeah, definitely a card that's viable in Ultimate Offering gadgets. I mean, if you can get out, multiple Shockmasters, you'll be pretty set to finish off the game. But usually, when you go for XYZ gadgets, as long as you don't get Torrential or Mirror Force, you should be able to game them relatively quick, and then you can establish a really good field too. But yeah, so that's it for Shockmaster. And his original name was, if you didn't know, his original name was Shock Ruler Conqueror of Colors, which is a really cool name. I kind of preferred that name, but perhaps that name was too long, they couldn't fit it in the box. Although they did fit Interplanetary Purpley Thorny Dragon into a card, and I thought that was a pretty long name for a card, but they managed to get that. But yeah, pretty interesting card, and yeah, I think you could maybe use, was it Goblinberg, perhaps with like Rescue Rabbit, or you could just find any other way to make this card first turn. I think he's pretty decent, especially if you get multiple, like I mentioned earlier. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and let me know what you guys think of this card. It's your White Dragon, signing out.